am making fancy ants on a log. A traditional ants on a log is you take a log of celery, you fill it with peanut butter, and then top it with raisins. It's a fun way to eat some vegetables. Growing up, this was a snack that I had in my school lunch, and I just didn't think there was anything cooler than ants on a log.
Jennifer.
Hello, Chef.
Ants on a log. So how are you gonna make it great?
This version is with blue cheese, a celery juice vinaigrette, and pork poached figs. I really want it to look like a bit of a sculptural art piece that you get to eat.
Okay, well, you have always inspired us and impressed us with your beautiful plating.
Thanks so much, Chef.
Don't let those ants run loose, eh?
Okay. 100% the hardest part of the appetizer for me is the celery.
I'm a little worried because it takes a lot of skill, which she has, to elevate such a humble vegetable as celery.
Because the backbone of this dish is celery, and Andre's is lobster, I have to allocate a lot of time and love and care into this celery to make it the best celery the judges have ever had.
If she can pull this thing off, she's gonna wow us.
Hey, okay.
Yeah!
Celery looks good.
Thank you, thank you.
We only have 10 minutes left before we start to taste your first course.
We are moving. Time is the most important ingredient in this kitchen.
Jennifer, what's next?
I'm gonna make a blue cheese mousse.
Way to stay focused. You got it.
I still have to do so many other components. Almost. My brain is just in this mode.
Good job, Jennifer. Good job.
Everything has to be beautiful because this is such a simple dish. More salt. I want all of the bites to be perfect and all of the bites to be just a little different. Okay, here we go.
1 minute. 1 minute. Service is coming to pick up your dishes.
You got this. Come on.
Nice. That looks amazing.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Looks fabulous.
Thank you.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up.
Next is Jennifer's appetizer. Fancy ants on a log made of pork poached figs, a celery brunoise, and a blue cheese mousse.
She has taken a very childlike dish and elevated it to restaurant quality. I look at it and I can't wait to tuck into it. It seems almost simple in the beginning, but once you taste it, you realize the complexity, the fine detail, and the finesse to it.
In there, you get so many complex textures. I get the crunch from the walnut and the celery. And then you have the blue cheese, full of flavor, but it's also balanced. It's very hard to balance blue cheese.
There's so many different juxtapositions happening on this plate. It's a really, really smart dish. I mean, this is the kind of dish that you could see in, may I say, a Michelin-starred restaurant. This is just spectacular.
When I tasted the lobster, I thought, how is a celery and blue cheese dish going to compete with a dish of Andre's caliber and quality?
Any ingredient in the right hands can be sensational.
Let's get back out there. Even with the canned mushrooms, they had a good selection to choose from.
A lot of people think the canned one will be the biggest disadvantage, but to me, it's not. It retains its texture.
You know what? I grew up in a Newfie household, and we had a lot of canned vegetables. There's ways to elevate the flavor. You gotta be creative, but that's how I like to be in the kitchen.
All three versions have their own advantages and disadvantages. Fresh, sometimes it's difficult to get the flavors out. And also, the fresh is danger of overcooking or undercooking it.
Eugene's got all sorts of equipment happening. I'm sure he's doing this convoluted dish.
I'm making a vegetarian mushroom bone marrow. Canned mushrooms are a little bit slimy and a little bit wet, similar to bone marrow where it's fatty and gelatinous. I'm shaping comfy potatoes, similar to bones. My idea is pretty creative. I know that I've got this in the bag.
30 minutes, you have 30 minutes left.
So much work to do.
I'm doing a cream sauce with beautiful canned mushrooms in them on a bed of charred up cauliflower and then a poached egg as well with that.
Andy is using a variety of techniques. He is grilling, he is smoking, he is making purees. Interesting for me to know that he does have this in his repertoire.
Hey there, Andy. How are you feeling? I'm feeling good about it. I've never done any of these techniques really before, but that's what the MasterChef Kitchen's about, is getting a little bit outside of your comfort zone.
Do people from out east like to cook with a smoking gun?
No, not necessarily. But I feel like I've only cooked about one meal in this kitchen that I've been proud of, and I think this one's gonna be one that I'm absolutely proud of.
Because I don't think we've seen your full potential yet.
I don't think you have either, Chef.
Carry on.
Thank you, Chef.
15 minutes left to present us with your mushroom dish.
Look at Eugene. He seems to be taking a long time with those potatoes.
You need to get the potato shaped like bones as soon as possible.
We've seen him do complicated before, and it just doesn't work out for him.
It's taking too long. I won't have time to redo these potatoes. If I don't get the proper structure, I'm screwed.
This might end up being his ultimate destruction.
Eugene,
Hi, Chef Alvin.
you got the canned mushroom. Is that a bummer?
No, I'm very used to canned mushrooms. You know, Chinese cuisine, we
I
always
know
get
Chinese
canned
cuisine
mushrooms.
well, okay? And I've used a lot of canned mushroom in my life. What are you doing with it?
So canned mushrooms are a bit wet, they're slimy. So I'm doing a replica bone marrow. It's a very similar texture.
You are doing bone marrow with mushrooms.
Yes, chef.
You can't. Can you?
Hopefully when you taste it, it'll blow your mind.
I don't know which way it's gonna blow. That's a problem.
I understand that, chef.
Don't disappoint me.
Yes, chef.
I was given a tricky ingredient to cook with, and I stood up and delivered. I'm super proud of this dish.
What kind of mushrooms were you assigned?
I was assigned graciously the canned mushrooms. I decided not to go with any protein and just focus on the mushrooms. So on bottom, I've got a roasted purple cauliflower. On top of that, I smoked an oyster mushroom, and then on top, a roasted creamy sauce using some of the mushrooms, and then poached and smoked an egg.
The cauliflower is acting like a protein would act on a plate like this.
Exactly.
I like that. Wow. Looks nice. Incredible flavor. Bold. Great texture. Honestly, I couldn't tell that it was a canned mushroom by the way you treated it. It's an original dish. You are one to watch. Keep it up.
Thank you, Chef. Will do.
And I wanted the dish to look kind of like a forest in fall. The bones I made from a potato confit. The marrow is the star of the dish.
I'm actually very disappointed when I look at this dish, Eugene. Because I wish I would have thought of it.
Thank you, chef.
It really is incredibly creative, innovative.
Thank you, Chef Claudio.
To take a canned mushroom and come up with potatoes and mushrooms pretending to be bone marrow. It's pure genius.
Thank you.
I know you know it too, because I can see you're filled with emotion right now.
Yeah.
The way it looks, it's a triumph.
Thank you, chef.
Let's cut through. I'm very intrigued. Wow, look at that. You mimicked a bone marrow. It's incredible. The mushroom is smooth, incredibly rich, very intense in flavor. The whole dish, it just has complete harmony. I love the fact that you've got these chips here that mimic dried leaves. You're definitely onto something.
I am so relieved right now. I'm not really thinking of Michael G, but I guess I could thank him because probably I wouldn't have used that idea if it wasn't for the canned mushrooms.
Today I'm making peaches and cream. It's ultimate comfort. I feel like people think I can't cook sweet, but I can. I want to show up to these guys that I'm a little bit of a threat. I think because I wasn't a runner-up in my season that a lot of people here underestimate me. I want to prove to the judges that I'm a competitor, and I want to prove that I can do sweet as well as savory. When I was on MasterChef Canada the first time, I really felt like I didn't show everything I had.
The pastry cream, not so good. I can't taste the vanilla at all.
Back then, I was tripped up by the dessert. But I want to grow in this kitchen, I need to push myself. So I'm gonna flambe the peaches with brandy, and I'm gonna do a chai spice vegan creme anglaise. Taking this risk is scary. If I can't execute properly, there's a great chance that I will go home.
Hey, Andrew.
Chef, how are you?
Looks like you're making something sweet.
I think I am.
And you notice how beautiful that caramelized with the alternative butter because it doesn't burn as quickly. Tell me, what are you doing there?
Some nice caramelized peaches with crumble on top, baked in
Yeah.
the oven. A nice pour of creme anglaise made with silken tofu.
Okay.
Some of the soy milk.
Yes.
It's chai spiced. And then I'm doing a pistachio praline.
Very excited about this dish, but remember, must look good.
Yes, that's the plan. Thank you, chef. I'm going to be making a praline for on top of the peaches. I need to cook some sugar to the right temperature, then add some crushed nuts, pumpkin seeds, and hemp hearts. My goal is try to elevate it as much as I can. Let's go into the freezer. The last time I cooked a sweet in the MasterChef Canada kitchen, I was eliminated. Of course I'm nervous. Today, I prepared for you peaches and cream. all plant-based. I've made a short crust and pistachio praline, chai spice creme anglaise with silken tofu and soy milk.
Andrew, I love the look of this. Not only does it look like a restaurant quality dish, it looks like a 3 Michelin star dish.
Good for you.
And you're no pastry chef, right?
Not at all.
Wow, look at that. You've made an error in judgment. You don't think you're a great pastry chef. And you are.
Thank you.
This is the best peaches and cream I've ever tasted. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Andrew, I guess you're feeling pretty good now.
I was worried for a second there, but yes.
Question is, does it live up to the hype? It exceeds it.
Thank you.
I love the flavors, the freshness of those peaches, and the lemon I saw you put in really accentuates the flavor of those fruits. And your crème anglaise, light and creamy and yet warming. It really is a lovely, lovely little dessert.
Yes.
You knocked it out of the park. Well done, Andrew.
Thank you.
Good job, Andrew.
Awesome work, buddy.
Amazing.
I feel so proud. Hearing the judges say that it looks like a 3 Michelin star dish, it's the highest praise. It's the highest praise.
I'm making root vegetables 5 ways with a balsamic glaze and parsnip and yellow beet puree. I'm coming from a farm with my 4 kids hanging off my legs to the MasterChef Canada kitchen. It's crazy.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
The fact that you have this garden at home, you must eat a lot of vegetables.
That's pretty much all we eat at home.
Do the kids ever turn up their nose and say, no more vegetables?
Of course. I hide those veggies in everything.
I'm very excited to see what you're going to come up with.
Excited for you to try it.
Come on, baby.
I see all the beautiful colors and I immediately think rainbow trout. I'm using a combination of different root vegetables like radishes, beets, blue potato, and then a bit of leek to make a rainbow scale on top of the fish. The inspiration behind my dish is my dad. We would fish in the summertime for rainbow trout. And I remember my dad showing me how to get the bobber on the line. Fond memories. My dad died when I was 20. It was a mighty rip through the page of my life. And I wanted to do things that would be kind of safe. For a really long time, food felt like a risk. I now feel ready to do some risking. This is turf and surf, a sweet potato puree, a beet puree, seasoned blanched vegetables. Underneath all of that, there is a rainbow trout poached in a flavored broth.
This might be the first fish I've eaten where I like the scales. The fish is cooked perfectly. The root vegetables, they're definitely the star of the show. They really showcase those earthy, deep flavors. Overall, pretty amazing.
Thanks.
Hi there, Jennifer.
Hello, chef.
It certainly is eye-catching. Beet is such a wonderful root vegetable to work with. What comes out is that earthy, slightly sweet flavor. And those root vegetables as part of the scales on top, maybe slightly under-seasoned.
Okay.
But if I had to score this dish on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd be giving it 8.5. So well done. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is vegetables 5 ways with a balsamic glaze and a parsnip, apple, and yellow beet puree.
The plating is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
It really is a discovery of goodies. Great silky smooth puree. The sweet potato,
Glazed maple sweet potato.
I guess that gets the kids to eat them, right?
Yeah. I put some hot spice on it, though. They don't like that at home.
But the judge does. That's great. How did you go about treating the lotus root?
I just boiled down some beets, and then I pickled it just in the beet juice.
It could have sat in that brine just a little bit longer, just to give a bit more of an acidic edge.
I agree, yeah.
But it's still crispy and flavorful. Well done.
Thank you, chef.
Thank you.
Jenny, I like the way you separated the vegetables. I see the winters here. Celeriac, Swiss chard, sweet potatoes. On this side, you've got summer root vegetables, radish, beets. You know your vegetables. Sweet potatoes. I like the balance, sweetness. Let me taste the pickles. Good crunch, got the acidity. Seeing a lot of techniques. Wonderful job.
Thank you. Wow. I'm feeling really proud of myself. Like I belong here, maybe.
I love you girls so much.
Hi, Veronica.
Hello, chef.
What is your part in this team?
I'm available for tasting and any sort of questions that people may have. I'm the most familiar with these ingredients out of everyone here.
So you're acting like a Michelin inspector.
I am a little bit.
What are you doing?
I'm making a play on xiaolong bao. Xiaolong bao is a Chinese soup dumpling that has to have at least 18 crimps. So it's meat, soup in a nice little bundle. 16, 17, 18.
I will be counting. I will be counting. The red team, I like the theme they're doing, Asian. Veronica, she's doing xiaolong bao, which is a Chinese dim sum. Very difficult, requires a high level of skill.
Making xiaolong bao, you need to serve it with black vinegar. I'm not gonna give the judges some black vinegar and a soy sauce plate. Let's make some caviar. Making caviar is just a matter of mixing black vinegar and agar and dropping it into frozen oil. Oh my God, look, Sean, look.
It's working.
It's working,
Awesome.
It's magic.
Awesome.
Little caviars of vinegar, fantastic.
Veronica, unlike Alvin, I'm no expert in Chinese cuisine, but what I know is that you have picked one of the most difficult dishes on the planet to execute in 90 minutes. The way that it looks is an absolute triumph. You made caviar.
I did, black vinegar caviar.
That's difficult. You made your own wrapper.
I did make my own wrapper.
That's difficult. You folded it how many times?
21.
That's difficult. We're not even in a finale yet.
I treat every single competition as if it's the finale.
You really captured so many things in one dish. Tradition, innovation, and flavor. The red team are very lucky to have you on their team.
Thank you, Chef.
Most of the home cooks came out with baskets full of food, but Becky, she had merely a handful of ingredients in her basket.
I think 4 grapefruits and half a dozen eggs.
She's obviously going sweet.
I don't want to see an apple pie. I don't want to see plain burger and fries. This is not the time to be safe.
I'm gonna elevate pie by not just making the traditional mold. It's pretty much a deconstructed pie.
I'm gonna make like a grapefruit pie with basil jelly and meringue.
It is pie at its core, it's just completely elevated. I've never had grapefruit and basil before, but I think it'll work. Basil goes with most fruit.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Oh, what are you making?
A pie.
Pie. Could you settle down? The excitement is overwhelming. Pie. What kind of a pie are you making?
I'm gonna make a grapefruit curd with grapefruit and basil jelly and a meringue.
That's not your average diner pie.
To bake pie in 1 hour, do you think it may be a risk?
Instead of a crust, I'm gonna do a crumble instead.
I baked a pie years ago, and it took less than an hour, Alvin. So, show a little face.
Yeah.
Go get him, sister.
Thank you.
Becky, I want that pie to jump.
Don't listen to a thing he just said. Just ignore it.
I made grapefruit and basil pie with Italian meringue and a crumble.
This is no humble pie. The presentation is beautiful. An Italian meringue. Why not French meringue?
Italian meringue goes like marshmallowy and it's a different texture.
I like that marshmallow and that beautiful candy grapefruit jelly. It balances out the tart from that grapefruit. Are you sure you're 19?
Yeah.
You're making me proud.
Where did you learn how to plate like this?
Well, I'm pretty much self-taught.
It's really sophisticated. A lot of layers of flavor going through there. This shows a tremendous amount of skill. You have a lot of talent.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of myself.
That's where the magic is at today. I got clove, cinnamon, and thyme. I've never used them all together. I pretty much never use cloves, and I never think about cloves other than apple cider at the Christmas market. So that's the first place my mind went, and I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna go dessert today. So I'm making a cinnamon creme patisserie and a clove creme légère, which I'm piping in a glass, and a sweet thyme tuile to sit on the top. I've been trying to just really channel emotions and memories that feel special to me and then just run with that. And it seems to be working so far, so I really hope the judges like it. Let's do it. Looking very cool. Race against time. I feel like I'm an octopus with like 8 tentacles going at like 8 different things, keeping it all on track. I have to get the creme pat in the fridge. I have to get the creme légère in the fridge. This really has the potential to just look like a bunch of slop in a glass if things don't set properly. Hope and a prayer. I hope the judges can see that I took the challenge really seriously and that I wanted all 3 of these spices to be the hero of it.
Tell me which McCormick gourmet spices you got in your box.
I used ground cinnamon, ground clove, and also thyme leaves. I've made what I'm calling the winter holiday market. There's a cinnamon creme pâtissière as well as a thyme tuile, and then just finished with a bit of smoke at the very end.
It is a very poetic dish. And the presentation, just gorgeous to look at. It's all there. That little hit of smoke, the clove, the cinnamon, the thyme. It's not overpowering, but it is full and creamy and light.
Yay.
One tip would be to make that tuile just a shade thinner.
Okay.
But overall, I like this dish.
Thank you, Chef.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I must say, when I look at this, it's simple but sophisticated. But what I say about taste?
Taste is king.
Wow. It's a very nice dish. It's executed well. This is like Christmas in a spoon.
Thank you so much, Chef. Totally mission accomplished. I couldn't have hoped for anything better.
There, go there.
I grew up eating Latin American food at least twice a week. So I'm doing a Mexican street-style corn panna cotta.
Typically, you think of panna cotta as a dessert. She's turned it upside down and made an appetizer out of it, a savory approach to a panna cotta.
That's a smart move.
I'm also creating an amuse-bouche, which is a watermelon shooter to kind of cleanse the palate. I am incredibly confident in these flavors.
Hey there, Taya.
Chef Michael?
So 3 hours, 3 courses.
Yes.
A lot to get done.
Lot to get done.
Is there one element that is going to give you the biggest concern?
The panna cotta setting is my biggest concern. So as long as that goes well, I think I'll be okay.
And I see you are doing something to the corn here.
I'm just roasting the corn so they get a nice char. There'll be a layer on top of the panna cotta. It'll look like Mexican street-style corn, but then when you cut into it, it'll be a nice creamy corn panna cotta.
Interesting. Good luck with it.
Thank you, Chef.
Good job, Tay. You got it, Taya.
How am I doing, guys?
Great. Fantastic.
I'm on track. And I know I have enough time to make every plate perfect. But the panna cotta is absolutely vital. If my panna cotta doesn't set, it's just like this blob. And I might as well just give the first round to Trevor. Oh my gosh. Looking good. Whew. Okay, wait, it's crumbling. The look I'm going for is a whole piece of charred corn on top of the panna cotta. This isn't good. It's falling apart. I gotta get this off.
She's really struggling with the corn there.
Come on, Taya. I just need to pick my other corn and pray for the best. This one's good, this one's good.
Next up is Taya's appetizer. A Mexican street-style corn with a corn panna cotta, zucchini blossoms, a jalapeno lime puree, and a watermelon and mint amuse-bouche.
To me, it's clear that Taya has managed to elevate her plate presentation.
I think this dish is her defining moment. We have never seen a more elegant, beautifully presented dish from Taya until now. And we have an amuse-bouche as well. Wow. Great beginning.
The panna cotta is very good. A little on the sweet side, you get that big hit of corn and that charred corn on top. I thought it was just a very clever way to do it.
This dish, I cannot see anything wrong with it. And this is very, very rare. Coming from the Demon Chef, you got all the different tastes. You got the sweet, that's balancing the acidity from the crema, a little bit of hit slice at the end. The combination, it's amazing.
She has really captured Latin American cuisine here.
I chose pandan and siphon.
I took pandan because it's a childhood comfort flavor of mine.
Pandan is a really subtle flavor. It's a little bit grassy, a little bit herbal, but it's got this very rich, creamy, robust flavor.
Today, I'm doing a bit of a tropical dessert. It's gonna be a plated dessert.
I'm making a pandan forest with pandan espuma. Espuma is a foamed, warm component.
And I'm also gonna be doing a pandan micro sponge with the siphon.
When Andrew won with a dessert last week, I really wanted to bring my dessert game this week.
It is something a little bit different, and I hope the judges will be impressed. It's hot in this kitchen.
I am sweating. I'm calling my dish Into the Ravine because when I was a kid, we had a ravine behind my parents' house, and I would always go down there and walk around in the woodsy areas, play with sticks and branches, and it was just a big part of my childhood growing up. I've got 10 things to put on this plate, and if I mess up even one of them, I have to start all over. I'm making caramelized milk logs, so it looks like there's branches and dead fallen trees around. And then mushrooms, I'm gonna start with the espuma on the bottom. I just need to block everything else out and just focus on what's in front of me. I'm nervous because my dessert is high concept, and if it doesn't translate over to the judges, then I just have a mess on a plate.
My words were siphon and pandan. I would call this dish Into the Ravine. I used the siphon 2 ways. I've done a pandan coconut espuma on the bottom and also used it to make a steamed micro sponge on top. There's meringue mushrooms for some crisp, a pistachio crumb, some caramelized milk logs, and then just some red currants and yellow currants for some acidity.
Wow. I must say, I am lost for words. It's so pretty that I don't want to eat it. There's moss, there's mushrooms, there's soil. This is so beautiful, but does it taste as good as it looks? I love the soil. The pandan is definitely there, and you had to put it in strong. It is very light and delicate, and you handle it well. All the flavors, they come together. The crispiness, a bit of saltiness from the soil even, it goes very well with the pandan. This dish, to me, I'm lost for words, as I said. And that doesn't happen to the Demon Chef. I'm emotional. That says it all.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
Good job. I think that today is gonna be finally my day to win.
I'm okay with the budget wallet. The budget wallet doesn't scare me. I've grown up with a single mom, so shopping on a budget is normal to me.
My mom brought me to Canada when I was about 3 years old. And when we were growing up, we were pretty economic when it came to shopping. A lot of vegetables, that's for sure.
I'm gonna be making some seared cod, because I couldn't afford halibut. I'm gonna use all parts of the fish, try to get a stock, and I'm gonna be making a corn succotash with it as well. I wanna have a nice sauce, because usually that's what you do when you're balling on a budget.
Jonathan, he is milking every single penny from that $10.
Tasting pretty good. Just want to make sure I get the plating done in time.
It's not gonna look like a $10 dish. I don't think there's any dish that I make that looks like a $10 dish.
He's nothing on it.
It doesn't look like $50.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up! Hands up! Wow.
I'm feeling pretty good. I tried to use the miso in everything, so I'm hoping that this dish is enough to stop me from going home.
This is elevated plating. I know the flavors are there. I just hope to impress the judges.
I'm not going home from this competition right now. Yeah, I think they have to drag me out of here. I'm not. There's some major critiques coming up for the other dishes, so I'm a little nervous going up there.
Hi. So I've got a piece of cod that I seared, sitting on top of a corn succotash, and I've got on top some zucchini. I was given a budget of $10, so I wanted to use that $10 to show what upscale could look like.
Wow, that's very intense. In a good way.
Oh, okay, thanks.
God, you scare me.
The succotash, the fish, everything works really well together, and that sauce ties everything together. $10, It's astonishing that you pulled this off.
Thank you.
It's cooked beautifully. You used every byproduct of the ingredient possible to compact and intensify the flavors of this dish.
David, how are we doing? Good, Chef. How are you? I'm doing awesome. Tell me what the dish is. I'm doing a quail stuffed with the tops from all the veg. Yeah. And then I'm going to roast them together with the legs and then plate it with all the beautiful veggies that you provided. You're the only one so far that's doing something stuffed and has deboned the legs. So that's like showing me that you have a ton of skill and that you also are like driven to getting it to the next level. Now it's, do you have the wherewithal to make it happen? I do. All right. They look good. I'm excited, David. Thank you. It's a stuffed quail with seasonal roast veg and parsley aioli. I love this plate. It's very, very natural and organic. Thank you. Where'd you get the idea for this? I actually love working with whole animals. It's a small one, but I just like doing that type of preparation. I love the sauce. Nice roast on the vegetables. Nice color on the skin. This is a dish that not only is it delicious, but it's one that you want to photo and, like, you know, tweet to everybody. Good job.
I'm making monkfish sinigang. It's a traditional Filipino dish of tamarind paste and fish sauce. The last time I cooked monkfish, Chef Alvin told me that I did not treat the protein properly because it's considered poor man's lobster.
That's like using filet mignon in a stew.
I have to tie the monkfish so it stays round while I cook it. Feel good, I'm ready to redeem myself with this dish.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Chef, how you doing?
I'm always good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good,
I almost got all my mise en place done.
Well, no, I was talking about in general.
Oh, in general, it's good. I have a fiance. I have 2 young daughters now, so trying to win this for them. Since I was last on MasterChef Canada, a lot has changed, actually. I'm a dad, and I'm a family man now. So I quit my engineering job to pursue food full-time. I run my own little private chef catering company. I've done a lot of fundraising, and it's just been a great experience. But the food industry is tough. Recently, I had to go back to my engineering job to support my family, so my business has been put on the back burner. Winning MasterChef Canada would give me the means of fulfilling my lifelong dream, which is opening up my own Filipino food restaurant.
Jeremy, please come up to the front.
It's a monkfish sinigang. On the bottom is a tamarind and balsamic glaze and some watermelon radish for garnish.
Amazing presentation.
Thank you, Chef.
I can't wait to sink my teeth in this. Everything is there. You got the fruitiness coming from the tamarind and the extra layer of flavor coming from the balsamic. Now, the monkfish is a poor man's lobster.
Man's lobster.
Okay? And I can tell you, this is a rich man's dish.
Yes. Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
I can't believe I'm top 12. This is freaking awesome.
Last week, I was driving a Zoom boom at my construction job. Now I'm cooking in the MasterChef Canada kitchen.
I am doing a seared chicken breast, a cauliflower puree, roasted carrots, and a blue cheese Mornay sauce. My mom means a lot to me. I'm dedicating this dish to her. I love you, Mom.
30 minutes! You have 30 minutes left!
Come on, come on. The energy in this kitchen right now is incredibly intense.
A lot is at stake. The huge advantage that they get if they produce the best mystery box.
I smashed my heavy cast iron plate right into the front of my glass oven.
You okay?
The oven is completely shattered.
I literally destroyed my oven. How am I gonna cook chicken? There's no way I can recover from this.
I've never seen this happen in this kitchen. These ovens are state-of-the-art quality pieces. I don't know if he's being reckless or just careless.
You cannot cook without equipment.
Alice, can I borrow your oven?
Go for it, go.
Alice really helped me out. I went from feeling totally crushed to now motivated. I can do this.
I mean, I know it's a competition and everything, but it just shows what kind of person she is, and I'm very thankful.
I can't believe I made the top 3. When I broke that oven, I thought I was done.
So what you have before you, there is a pan-roasted chicken breast, a cauliflower puree, carrot done 2 ways, and a blue cheese Mornay sauce.
It's a work of art, against all odds. I'm curious, what's your reputation?
I think people think I'm sort of a goofball, but I mean, I'm here to play. I'm here to play hard.
The flavors are so intelligent, so well put together. I'm struggling to find an imperfection here, but there's one. You need to use a little bit more sea salt if you have it.
Trevor, you got a lot of fancy stuff here. Tell me, who taught you all this?
I was trained to cook as a young boy, and I sort of developed this plating technique by watching chefs among your stature on television.
This is rich. This is sophisticated. You know, I was not professionally trained either. One of the few self-taught Michelin star chefs in this world. And being here in this kitchen is the best opportunity that you will get that I did not get.
Thank you, Chef.
This dish is all about layers. The first layer is white chocolate graham cracker cake. The second layer, cream cheese mousse with vanilla bean. And on the top are shards of meringue. And for a garnish, I'm doing lemon curd.
This is the deal breaker. If this dessert isn't perfect, everything will be for naught.
With dessert, it is all about the refinement, and I think dessert is far less forgiving.
In pastry, there's nowhere to hide.
The dessert I've been working on in my head is very complicated, and I will need 1 hour and 15 minutes to produce it. And I have 60 minutes.
Hi there, David.
Hello, Chef.
Walk me through each component of desserts.
So the crust will be a sponge cake.
And that's the foundation, the base.
And that will be the base. And then the center will be vanilla cream cheese mousse.
Wonderful. And that's what you're working on right now?
Exactly.
So does this then have to go in the freezer?
Yes, into the freezer.
Which is going to be the most difficult aspect of this dessert?
Just bringing it all together in the time allotted.
Maybe it's making your wife proud with this new and improved version of the dessert. What do you think?
I hope so.
Thanks, David.
I'm working on lemon curd. Every move I make needs to be intentional. I don't have the time to make mistakes.
15 minutes! There's 15 minutes left.
Oh,
What did he put in there?
Curd. He just realized he didn't cook it.
I stuck a raw lemon curd into the freezer. I need to cook that. I am in full panic mode.
He is really cutting this close. I'm not sure he's gonna make it. David just realized he forgot to cook this lemon curd. You've got to whisk everything and let it set in the fridge, and that takes time.
10 minutes! You have 10 minutes left!
Here we go.
This is very, very close.
He is really cutting this close.
I see nothing on the plate.
But Lynn is almost finished. 5 minutes! You have 5 minutes left!
Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable.
So finally, David is now starting to plate. He's starting to put together his dessert.
You got it.
Oh my God, he's still running around. Lynn is already finished.
1 minute! You have 1 minute left! He's still got to put his meringue on. It's going to be within seconds if he pulls this off. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and wow!
My dessert is a lemon curd parfait on a graham cracker sponge base with meringue.
Are you as surprised as we are that you pulled this off?
No. I wasn't gonna give up. Not today. No way.
Can't wait to try it. I really adore all the flavors. The presentation to me is unique. There's so many textures happening here. You have crunchy from the meringue, soft from the mousse. The cake is sensational, flawless.
You know, David, I am impressed. You really elevated your wife's lemon dessert here. The star of the show really is this lemon curd because the sharpness and the sweetness, that balances perfectly. This, to me, is heaven in a spoon.
The mousse is light and fluffy and delicate. The lemon curd, if that had not made it to the plate, this would not be a successful dessert. It's very well done. Thank you.
Is that rice?
Yeah.
You're puffing the rice? Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, nice.
Jennifer's doing a take on sugary breakfast cereal.
I love breakfast cereal. Many a chef finish their night with a bowl of sugary cereal.
It's more Saturday night than Saturday morning.
Good. Puffy. If I'm going to serve the judges treat cereal in the finale, I better make sure that there's some good technique in that bowl. Let's see what happens here. I'm making a chocolate crumble, meringue marshmallows, a sugar-cured egg yolk with a brulee, chocolate ganache, and tea smoked milk.
Jennifer,
Hello, Chef.
okay,
How
tell
are
me,
you?
why tea smoked milk?
Something that I think is so nice after a meal is a sweet and a tea. And I use my favorite tea, which is birthday cake flavored. I just think it pairs really well with this.
You got a lot going, you got a lot of treats coming. I can't wait to taste it.
Yes, Chef.
How do you think of smoking milk?
Oh, I don't know what happens in there, really. I don't.
Jennifer, please describe your dessert.
Tonight, I've made one of my favorite dishes, treat cereal. There's a chocolate soil in the bottom. I've puffed a variety of different rices. I've made some marshmallow meringue. There's a chocolate ganache bed for the sugar-cured egg yolk, and I've tea smoked milk.
This isn't just a dessert, this is an experience.
Oh.
Wow.
Jennifer, that first mouthful is a bit of a mystery as to what's in there. The second mouthful, it starts to define each flavor and texture. That subtlety of the smoke of the milk, that rich, complex flavor of the ganache, the texture of the puffed rice. There's something grown up about it. If there was one adjustment, one caveat, I would like just a little more sweetness. But it really is a tremendous dessert.
Thank you, Chef.
All these treat cereals that I missed as a kid, the ones I crave, I recognize it all here. So my dream has come true, but in a sophisticated adult way.
Thank you, Chef.
This dessert is absolute creativity. It's somebody who's really mastered technique, flavor. You can't teach this. This is one of the most original desserts I've ever had.
Thank you, Chef. I kind of just wanted to give them some of the sense of wonder I have felt the entire time I was here. I'm just so happy.